Welcome to the channel, folks. Today, I would like to discuss the fish tank of a world or aquarium or terrarium that we live in that was created by a master. And that master created this tank with pure waters, fresh waters, clean waters. And since the day it was created to now, things have invaded, murkied up the tank, made the waters disgusting, and there's an enemy that is constantly trying to make it worse. So the master of the tank decided, I'm going to open up the lid and take a closer look, as if he needed to already. But he did, and he knows exactly what's happening. He looks down inside and says, goodness gracious, I need to go ahead and set aside a moment to dive in. And he dove in with no scuba gear whatsoever and made himself vulnerable to everything that we experience so that we could relate with him. Then he went around for 30 years figuring out exactly what he needed to say to us as if he didn't already know. So most of us don't get it through our head that he already knew. His father is his father. And he told him what we needed, as if he didn't already know. I keep repeating that, and I'm going to be completely redundant with that one. So he dove into the tank, and then he walked amongst us vulnerable with no scuba gear. And he taught us exactly what we needed to know to put the scuba gear on so we could survive in this murky tank, because there's always like us and this other power is trying to conflate the tank with all this nastiness. Then for 3 years he preached the gospel. That's where that came from. And at that point he decided, I'm going to go ahead and allow myself to be destroyed and taken down by this tank and this other entity that's trying to destroy it. He even followed his own rules that he created. He took the Sabbath day off, but the next day he was risen back up, and he spent another 40 days with us. And then he taught us completely how to put on the scuba gear. And he created this situation where there's apostles that also taught us further and further how to keep this scuba gear maintained so that we can make it through this tank and get out of it one day. Brothers and sisters, that is the story of the Bible in a nutshell. From beginning to end, it was all about him. But there was a point in the middle where he had to dive in. He had to do a lot of things in the Old Testament, but in the New Testament, it leads up to a final battle. We can discuss that another time. If you're interested, stay tuned for the next episode.